Hello, testing. Welcome to my work for women, for mothers. I'm here to help the disadvantaged mother who is required to co parent with a narcissist or stuck in a high conflict family court custody battle. If this is you, you do not have to feel so alone. I endured a 12-year family court battle. I've had three lawyers. I did a 5-day trial. I went on after losing to gain my rights back, win them back one by one, and then negotiate successfully with a narcissist. So I went from losing and losing my mind and my sanity to the insanity to getting my sanity back, empowering myself, using wisdom, leading with logic, and asking the right questions, not like what's a wrong question? Well, a wrong question is how do I get the narcissist to do what I want? Uh, another wrong question is how can the narcissist make up to me what he's done? Some of those questions will just bring you down some dark alleyways and into despair. But what are some of the right questions? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about because you can make better a bad situation if you're asking the right questions to the right person. So, welcome to my work for moms. Pick up. This is my Grace's guidance series, but just so you know, this isn't direct advice. It is not direct advice because every case is complex and different. What worked for me may not work for you. I teach and use skillful means now and the gray walling method I developed. But this is really my shared survivor wisdom. So take what's helpful, leave the rest. You can read my full disclaimer in the comments and boxes below. But this is just based on my story. It might sound eerily similar. So, take what's helpful and make sure you run everything by your lawyer. If you are willing and ready to learn and do the work, I'm here to teach, coach, and mentor. So, healing is our job and part of our work that we have to do, as well as getting consultations and experts and the team of support that we will need to endure a family court battle or post separation abuse and co parenting abuse. So learn all you can because knowledge is power. My background is loving and leaving an alcoholic, spending time in recovery, staying in recovery, using therapists, DV counselors, having sponsors and mentors to overcome and transform my situation. So today we thrive. I have peaceful co-parenting with a narcissist, which I did parallel parenting for years. I was never able to co-parent with him when I was the enemy, his target of blame and the enemy to destroy in his mind. So I teach moms how to stop being the target of blame and the enemy to destroy in the narcissist's mind. You don't want to be pitted against the narcissist, which is what family court and lawyers do. It's set up that way. And it's very hard to work with somebody with oppositional defiance disorder or ASPD or NPD because they're a personality disordered person. That's the full diagnosis. It's a disorder. So I tell moms you can expect disorder when dealing with a disordered person. So watch out for your expectations. If you're expecting order and peace and harmony and civility, that might be what you want, but it might not be what they can offer. So we learn skillful means and we learn to work with wisdom. You can come to my website. My first book is Co-Parenting with a Narcissist, 7 Self-Rules to Stay Sane, because we want to focus on the love we have for our children, which is way bigger than the narcissist. And I believe you could read and learn and heal and outgrow the narcissist if you're willing to do the work. My second book is How to Fight a Narcissist in Family Court and Win, Super Smart Strategies for Success. Be willing to learn the lesson and all the pain and all the mistakes and all the drama, trauma, and chaos that the narcissist kicks up and thrives in, and watch for your reaction. I talk about the power of hitting the pause button or doing a pause, venting, do my 3D approach to discussing and documenting and detaching from whatever the narcissist is throwing at you, and find a program of recovery. Al Anon is what I use because he was a drinker and I think I was dealing with an active alcoholic in denial, but you could use CODA, Codependence Anonymous, as a recovery program, or ACOA, Adult Children of Alcoholics or Dysfunctional Families. We're all adults that were once children, and many families, we come from are dysfunctional, and we were comfortable with abusers, some of us. So that's what we ended up with. But be willing to change what you can. My third book is Co-Parenting with a Sociopath, Survival Insanity Guide. My fourth is How to Survive a Custody Battle When the Family Courts Force You to Co-Parent. And my fifth, newest book is Tame the Narcissist, where you're going to learn strategies, because I've had like 20 legal strategies. You're going to gain skills, understand how to maybe talk to the narcissist and create goodwill. And I still believe in that golden rule of do to others what you'd want done to you, even in these terrible situations. But not all those rules apply at every particular time. There's a time for standing up, and a time for trying to make peace. So this is 10 keys for better co-parenting to create peace and protection using strategy and skillful means. And it's on Amazon. All my books are on Amazon. You can buy them 1 through 5 and read my entire story. It's just loaded with tips, tools, and strategies, and all my survivor wisdom. And, knowledge is power. And this knowledge of my story may give you the strength you need to continue, or to actually fight, or to learn a different way. And I remember going through it, and I was praying. I was like, okay, if there is a God, please give me a different way between losing my child and having the child turned against me, and beating the narcissist and throwing him in jail somehow. So where I thought he belonged. um, Give me a different way. Show me a different way, a middle path, and that's what I took. I couldn't do either extreme at the time. There was no way for me to eliminate him as a wealthy, fully enabled narcissist without a criminal record or even a DUI, and a whole family support system where he worked for his family. There was no way for me to eliminate, but there was ways for me to use strategies like backing up into the microscope of the family court and finding lawyers that I could afford, or free legal aid for periods of time, and documenting strategies. And that's what I have in my books, a whole documentation strategy. But know that you're going to need your strength, different types of strength. There's a whole video. The video before this is all about that. But today's video is about some of my best SUR-THRIVER wisdom. It's part survivor, part thriver. It's ask the right questions. So how might you make a bad situation a bit better co-parenting with a narcissist? That's a question. And so I see moms in my groups. I have a couple private Facebook groups for moms, either co-parenting or in custody battles with a narcissist. And you want to ask this question because we want to be the change. We have to be the one to lead the way, um, and be the change that we want to see, like Gandhi says. So here it is. How might you make a bad situation a bit better for your child, for yourself? Does it mean you send the child with a bathing suit, buy 3 of the same bathing suit, buy a whole bunch so that you don't have to nag the narcissist or trigger, prod, poke, press, push the narcissist and get the rage of the lion? I teach skillful means for a reason. So moms who are like, "Oh, that's not fair that I have to buy 3 winter boots because they fall into the black hole of the narcissist for the child and the child's toes are frozen." Well, we have like 10 winter boots here. And over the summer he'll put them out on the uh on the truck in the back of tailgate and say, "Are any of these yours? I've got a lot." Yeah, all of them were mine, that I bought because a child needed boots and she was coming back with frozen toes from winter stuff. So how can you make a bad situation a little bit better and let go of the unfairness? Like maybe you just have to learn to forgive, or forgive 1%, or detach. Or what I teach is a install an ignore button. I learned that from my sponsor. It's like he asked, can you ignore anything? And it's like, no, everything matters. I know every choice matters. Everything matters to now and in the future and tomorrow. But there were some things that I had to ignore. I'd get swept up in the drama, trauma, and chaos that the narcissist likes to create. So focus on the question of how might you make the situation a bit better so that it's not such a mess, because the narcissist will thrive in the mess, and us empaths will be depleted, and we will lose all our emotional energy to the anger of injustice and seeing our child be neglected or abused. So refrain from asking questions that are going to lead you to more frustration, like, how am I going to teach the narcissist a lesson, or how to get the narcissist to do what I want him to do. If he has ODD, oppositional defiance disorder, with NPD, he's going to do the opposite of whatever you want. Or if you're the target of blame and he wants to punish you, get revenge, retaliate, which is part of their disorder and some of their pathological jealousy and competitive nature, they'll do the opposite. So focusing on those questions will lead you to more frustration, but trying to be a light in the darkness yourself, and that's what I try to do, is just be a light in the darkness of this dilemma. If you can make the situation a little bit better for your child just for a day, isn't it worth it? So ask the right questions and think about them. I know the narcissist lies and hides and cheats and steals everything, including our energy, and trying to steal our children. But the bottom line is the change begins with us, and our children, our vulnerable young children, need us. So I suggest you read my entire story of losing custody of my only child in family court to my ex, then winning my rights back one by one, and ultimately negotiating with a narcissist using strategy, leverage, methods, skillful means. I teach that in my 20 wants list. Today, our daughter thrives, and that's what matters to me as a mom. So, read, learn, reflect, heal, and outgrow that narcissist. Use wisdom, lead with love. If you are in the custody battle with the narcissist, or might be, you will want to try to have some calm endurance for this, because lawyers like to extend their services, is how I say it. They can be very unethical. They get paid hourly. My lawyer says nobody wins in family court but the lawyer. My second lawyer told me that. So it's the billable hour to change dates, to file a different motion, to extend, to keep pretrial hearings going and going and going. So you will need some calm endurance and to focus on what you want or what the child needs. And that's the 20 wants list strategy that gives you the leverage to actually get to a negotiation table with a narcissist where they don't even want to negotiate with you. And a narcissist won't negotiate with someone that they hate or want to punish. So you've got to take that into consideration. And that's why I have the framing of those 20 wants. Those are all in individual guides or in this book, and they're also by video if you buy just the individual guide. You really want to think about how you want to come to the negotiation table. If you ever get the chance to negotiate, you don't want to come as the enemy to destroy to a negotiation table, which is why skillful means and creating goodwill is the way to go, even if you hate the guy. And it's okay, in my mind, in my book, in my belief and opinion, it's okay to hate evil. It's just we don't want that hate to lead us to make decisions for us, just like you don't want anger to lead you everywhere and make all your decisions. You really want to have peace and calm. There is power when you have peace, and there's power when you have a strategy. If you don't have like at least 10 strategies going simultaneously right now to deal with a personality disordered ex that you're trying or required to co-parent with, then you're going to be stressed. Having strategies, pillars in place of like principles that you set forth will lower your stress. It'll make you the more mature parent. It'll help you stand out as the non-high conflict party in the whole family court battle. So learn my skillful means, read my story, take a highlighter. One of the things I say to moms is when you get to the second book, or the third book or the fourth book, you're going to be highlighting, oh yeah, this is the tactic that was used on me, and it worked every time, because narcissists typically win by emotionally destabilizing the target. And they have to blame someone. They're toxic blamers. They're not going to take responsibility. Their ego's so fragile, they can't even say they made a mistake sometimes. Or if they're saying they made a mistake, watch out, because that could be a covert narcissist just trying to elicit pity because they figured out you're an empath. And if they can get you to feel sorry for them, they can control you with your, guilt complex and sympathy and empathetic nature. So watch out for that too. Anyway, this is Grace's guidance. Obviously, I've been through the battle. Come over to my website and blog. Some of this is free. Many of these articles are free up to a point before you have to pay for an individual guide. Remember to like and subscribe if you want more free videos. You'll see once you get to that co-parenting with a narcissist drop down, I have the power tool there that explains it, how to prepare for family court. You're not alone if this is stressful and you're grieving all the losses. I have a free Navigate Around the Narcissist newsletter that gives you my tips, tools, and strategies. My job is to help you stay sane in the insanity and to enjoy your child's one and only childhood and, be the mom that you want to be. And sometimes the narcissist will try to hinder that, or we allow the narcissist without realizing that we're getting manipulated or attacked and being thrown on the defense. We allow the narcissist to ruin everything. I do have a basics course. It's my Navigate the Narcissist. It's on Around the Narcissist co-parenting video course where you're going to think about creating peace, de-escalating, disarming the narcissist, where the narcissist has tricks, tactics, and traps with a lot of different manipulations. We can actually name them all. Once you can label it, it will lose some power over you. But we need the strategies, the skills, the self-awareness, the self-rules. We can adapt, change, learn, be flexible. If you're an empathetic person, if you are, I've had lawyers and doctors as private coaching clients. I've even had therapists as private coaching clients. And, I'm not a therapist. I'm a mom survivor. I am college educated, but not in psychology. So I didn't ever intend to be a writer, but I realized that a mom in my town had 3 boys with a narcissist, and she was very, very depressed. And one Christmas, she was a teacher for special needs kids. In their divorce and their custody battle, she won the house and he won all 3 boys. And it was so humiliating. The humiliation, she did kill herself on Christmas Day. So little trigger warning there. I wrote the first book because I wish that I said more to her at the playground, but I was going through my battle and barely surviving it. So now you know where all this writing came from my desire to be a light in the darkness, to find a different way, to not be one of the moms that loses. And I ended up losing sole legal rights. Not all custody, though, because I had some team of support in place. But you watch these 11 videos 2 a week. Sit, reflect, print out the worksheets, write things down, because self-awareness, when you're aware that you're being backed into corners and you're ruining your own custody case, you can stop all that. You could stop making mistakes or learn from those mistakes that we made. I do have a nonprofit that I'm partnering up with other moms to put child safety first. And I say, because an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of pain. So if we can protect our children from a lot of the trauma and abuse of narcissistic abuse, which we often get traumatized, like knowing our children are traumatized by the narcissist that we left. So my mission is to support and bolster motivated, protective, loving, caring moms. If that's you, I hope to run support groups and have people in places to catch you when your big emotions are, when you need the emotional support, because emotional support will give you the energy to endure. And the wisdom will give you the chance to ask the right questions and not be trying to change a personality disordered person. If you need to go to family court with a narcissist, I have a Get the Right Lawyer guide. It has a 20-question attorney interview worksheet. Read the entire guide. If you haven't been to court with a narcissist, read this whole guide. You will have one step up, knowing what matters in family court. And you can maximize your legal consultations. You can even get your burning legal questions answered in those 20-question attorney the interviews. Okay, if you have this printed out, pre-written, ready, you're not going to go in with all the drama. You're going to cut to the chase, save their time, save your time, and actually get questions answered rather than just pour out your story, which is what is really important, that your story be heard. And maybe someday I'll have a book of moms who want to write their story, but they're not going to be a self-published author, and we can just anonymously write those stories of failures, of losses, of successes. We can maybe put it all together. That might be part of the nonprofit, because we can learn from each other. If you're dealing with a narcissist, get a safe, regular person to vent to. I think that's a foundational principle. Somebody that knows the whole story, someone that's not going to give you direct advice, someone that's just going to listen and maybe point you to resources. A good person is like a DV counselor, because domestic violence often goes hand in hand. Some domestic violence agencies recognize post-separation abuse when you leave your abuser and he continues to abuse you as you're trying to co-parent, or legal abuse in family court. So find someone who gets it. That's not a family member, or friend, or best friend. They usually they love you, but we burn them out because the narcissist is so drama filled and so disorganized and so disordered that it upsets people to hear what we go through. So if you're dealing with a narcissist, my tip is to find a safe person to vent to, a regular, confidential support person to share your story of injustice, pain, and betrayal. Also, find the experts. If you talk to just a regular therapist, that was one of my mistakes. I had a therapist who never picked up that he was a narcissist, ever, and just worked on me. And so I was just, victim blaming myself because she was just having me focus on my part in everything, instead of like, hey, he's toxic. Hey, he's manipulative. Hey, he's lying by omission. Like, I never knew that until I left her and found different support people. So make sure you're growing through this, not just going through this. And watch out on social media. And even if you're a mom member of my group, we only allow anonymous posting. We don't give advice. We don't even allow for comments, because moms were posting their whole details in the comments. And if the narcissist new girlfriend or mother joins, they can screenshot everything. It's not safe, even if it's in a private group. So we only allow for anonymous posts, but you really need someone to talk to. If you're posting on social media, it means that you need attention for your case. You need emotional support. You need to vent. You want to get this out of you, the poison, the toxin, the unfairness. So find those support people. I talk about gray walling, which is a combination of castle and curtain. Learn that method. That's what I can say, because you want to do your healing work, and you can't always heal fully and properly when you're constantly being rewounded. So put that, it's on my blog, put that castle and curtain around you and learn how to self-protect. Self-preservation is key. I do have a video, strategies for dealing with a narcissist. Find that video on YouTube on my channel. These short videos are free. And thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Remember to ask the right questions. Maybe write down a question and post it in the comments below. What's a better question to ask? Maybe what question were you asking that got you nowhere or led you more into the problem? And then tell us the question that led you closer to the solution. Only if it's safe to post in the comments. So protect your custody case at all times. And if you need me for one-to-one coaching, you can find that on my website. I'm a certified life coach. I do strategy sessions where we find resources. I let you know the resources that I know of, but I'm not a lawyer and I can't give legal advice. So remember, sometimes our child custody case is often only as good as our attorney. So we can empower ourselves by obtaining strong legal representation, or at least getting legal consults and legal guidance behind the scenes. So if you're ready to learn, I am here to teach. Find that 20 wants list, start making lists, and gain instant leverage. It's a power tool. It helps you stay on track. Some moms have me write this list with them so they can lead their lawyer instead of just going to the lawyer saying, this is what the narcissist is doing wrong and bad and hurtful. And yeah, but what do you need in place? What do you want? And that will help you gain instant leverage. And I have a whole nother video after that on how to frame it so that you don't keep putting yourself as the narcissist enemy, mistakenly and inadvertently positioning yourself as his enemy. It's not wise to do that. So go from stress to strategic. And how do you go from stress to strategic? Well, you're going to need some boundaries in place, some planning sessions. And how do you get support? How do you get emotionally stable? Going to need that support team. How do you start strategizing? You might need a strategist. So that's why I offer sessions. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I want you to, keep your sanity in the midst of the insanity. I want you to enjoy your child's only child. I want you to be in your child's life and be fully present for them emotionally. And that takes with getting some emotional support for yourself. You can come to my newsletter, which has a free podcast. You can find me on Spotify. Can watch the whole channel on dealing with a narcissist on my YouTube, or come to my blog and read my blogs as much as you can for free. Or I invite you to pick up all 5 of my books on Amazon and start reading them 1 through 5, and bring your highlighter. I see moms still take pictures and circling all the different tactics being used, and now they know. Now they know what was going on with them the entire time. They've been enlightened, and now once you come out of that, you can rise higher than the problem. You can get out of the problem and start stepping into solutions. Thank you so much for watching.